Hi, my name is Maul Fakir Rahman, and in hereby I would like to read through the 10 crucial concepts of photographic composition along with their example. So let's get started. First is read the text composition and choose the right title for each gap. First is rule of thirds. Image is divided into 9 equal segments by 2 vertical and 2 horizontal lines. The rule of thirds says that you should position the most important elements in your scene acting along with these lines or at the point where they are intersect. For example, when photographing a person, place their face along one of the grid's intersection line, not directly in the dead center. Second, balancing elements. Placing your main subject of center as with the rule of thirds create a more interesting photo, but it can leave a void in the scene, which can make it feel empty. You can achieve a balanced composition and even other main subjects visual way by including another sub-object of lesser importance to fill the space. For example, if photographing a large prominent building on the right side, add another object such as person or tree to avoid one-sided visual weight. Third, reading lines. When we look at the photo, our eyes is naturally drawn along the lines. By thinking about how you place this reading line in your composition, you can affect the way we feel the image, pulling us into the picture towards the subject on journey through the scene. There are many types of line, strike, diagonal, curvy, zigzag, radial, etc. can be used to enhance our photo's composition. 4. Symmetry and patterns. We are surrounded by symmetry and patterns, both are natural and man-made. They can be made for a very eye-catching composition, particularly in situations when they are not expected. Another example is use them to break the symmetry or pattern in some way, including tension and focal point scene. For the example of photograph with the same parallel repeating patterns, they are aesthetically pleasing to the view, such as parallel leaf petals. 5. Viewpoint. Before photographing your subject, take time to think about where you will shoot it from. One viewpoint has a massive impact on composition of photo and it can greatly affect the message that has the shoot conveys. Rather than just shooting from the eye level, consider the photographing for the high above, down, ground level, from the side, from the back, from a long way away, from very close up, and so on. The example is a photograph a cat from high angle to provide a unique perspective. 6. Background. The human eye is excellent at distinguishing between the different elements in scene, whereas a camera has a tendency to flatten the foreground and background, and this can often ruin an otherwise great photo. Thankfully, this problem is usually easy to overcome at the time of shooting. Look around for the plain background and compose your shoot so that it doesn't distract or detract from the subject. 7. Deep. Because photography is a two-dimensional medium, we have to choose our composition carefully to convey the sense of depth that was present in the actual scene. You can create depth in useful composition technique in overlapping, where you deliberately partially observe one object with another. The human eyes is naturally recognize these layers and mentally separate them out, creating an image with a more depth. Deep is when photographing a mountain landscape include an object like rocks or flowers in the foreground, like in the middle ground, and mountain in the background to give a flat image deep. Our eye framing. The wall is full of objects which make perfect natural frame, such as trees, archways, and halls. By placing these around the edge of the composition, you help to isolate the main subject from the outside wall, which result is more focused image which draw your eyes naturally to the main point of the interest. For example, photographing a history building through the arc creates a frame within the frame that isolate and emphasize the subject. Number 9. Cropping. Often a photo like of impact will because the main subject is so small it becomes lost among the clutter of its surroundings. By cropping the text around the subject you eliminate noises, ensuring the subject gets the viewer an undivided attention. For example, if the photo has a lot of empty space of distracting object around it, zoom in or crop the image tightly around the subject to make them the star of the photo. 10. And the last, experimentation. With the dawn of digital age in photograph, we are no longer have to worry about the film processing costs, or running our shoots. As a result, experimenting with our photos composition has become a possibility. We can fire off the tones of the shoots and delete the unwanted ones later. At absolutely no extra cost, take advantage of this fire experiment in your composition. You never know whether an idea it will work in your till you try it. Yeah, that's all for me. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Goodbye.